Good Thursday afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. We got off to a foggy start this morning, but things have improved certainly this afternoon. The sun is shining. It's really warming up. I'm going to start with a broad view of things and then kind of hone in on our area. Across the nation today, what I've plotted up here are the isobars, the lines of equal pressure. Low pressure centered out here with a cold front, and there's a warm front in through here. And this is a big time cold front that's marching east. A big clash of the air masses on either side of our front. As I bring up the temperatures, you can see what I'm talking about here. It's into the 70s and 80s, even 84 is nearby Cincinnati, but on the other side of the front, 50s and 60s, and even 30s and 40s out here across the Rocky Mountain states. And this chilly air that's building up here is definitely getting the green light to come east. And boy, what a change we're going to have. As soon as 48 hours from now, it's going to feel 25 degrees cooler here in the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. As I take off some of this information and bring up the radar, you can see we've got all sorts of trouble brewing out across the middle of the country. Severe thunderstorm watch, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, southeastern Kansas. Showers and storms associated with our front out here. But closer to home, we had really, really thick fog this morning. It took a long time to burn off, but it finally started to at about, I'd say 11 o'clock on average, 10:30, 11. And by 11:30, 12 o'clock, most of us were in pretty good shape, and now we just have lots of sun. 2 p.m. temperatures, 71 Youngstown, 71 Newcastle, 74 at the Akron-Canton Airport over there at the Stark-Summit County line, 76 in New Philly. Pittsburgh's at 73, but yeah, look at southwest Ohio. It's almost hot down there, middle and upper 80s, down in the Queen City of Cincinnati. So if you need to mow, if you need to rake, anything you want to do outdoors, today's your day, because tomorrow, not so good, Saturday, not so good, even Sunday, not looking so good either, unless you're a big fan of hoodies and working outdoors when it's pretty chilly. So let's focus on how things are going to progress here. I'll bring up our latest high-resolution North American model, or the NAM model for short. If you're a real weather weenie, you know these abbreviations by heart, some of you no doubt. Middle of the night tonight, a nasty line of storms out there across Missouri and into Illinois. Let's skip ahead to the daylight hours tomorrow. We are at 8 a.m. I think we're still dry at the bus stop and a jet off to work tomorrow morning. No problems at the start of the day. In fact, maybe even a little sunshine working in for the start of Friday. But here at 8 in the morning, our showers and storms are getting to about, say, Interstate 75. By 9 o'clock, probably getting closer to Interstate 71 in central Ohio. Let's skip ahead a couple of hours here to 10 o'clock. At this point, everything's continuing to progress east. Severe weather here, not all that likely tomorrow. I think there will be some thunder mixed in with this, but it's not quite as unstable as I'd like it to see in order to, kind of sound the alarms for severe thunderstorms. But certainly showers and some thunderstorms are going to be in our forecast starting on average probably about noon. Let's skip ahead to noon tomorrow. According to the NAM model, leading edge is starting to approach from the west. Depending on which model you look at, it could be a little faster, a little slower than this, but a good average will be noon, 1 o'clock as far as a start time, a little bit later maybe in our far eastern areas. Skipping ahead to 2 p.m. then, looking unsettled. This is not a solid wall of rain heading our way tomorrow. This is going to be kind of intermittent, hit or miss type of stuff. Most of us will get wet on a couple of occasions tomorrow, but it's not going to rain continuously once it starts through the end of the day. It's going to be kind of off and on type of a thing. By 4 p.m., there may be a little break in the action here. Again, the model's 24 hours in advance, may not be able to do a great job of picking out the exact breaks in the action, but there's the chance that we see a little break here right after school tomorrow. But of course, high school football tomorrow evening. Here we are at 7 p.m., and if the NAM model has the right idea, this is looking wet. And this looks to me like there could even be some thunder mixed in with this. That's not what we want. They'll play in the rain, but thunder and lightning, that'll cause some delays. So just be prepared for unsettled weather for high school football tomorrow evening. If we luck out, we get enough of a break that isn't too bad, but if we aren't so lucky, worst case scenario, there's some delays with some thunder and lightning around. And we'll finish up tomorrow's tour at 8 p.m. Again, unsettled showers and thunderstorms around on our Friday evening. All right, so let's focus on Saturday then. I'll skip forward to Saturday morning. Now, Saturday's not looking quite as wet as I thought previously. I think this is going to be much more, kind of a spotty activity kind of a day. The big story is not necessarily what rain falls on Saturday. It's going to be chill. This is middle of the afternoon on Saturday. Maybe there's some showers trying to rotate back in from the north and west, but it's really going to just feel like November on Saturday. It's going to be windy. It's going to be, raw. Temperature's no higher than about 50 Saturday afternoon. I'll show you just how windy it may be here. I showed you this yesterday if you watched, but show you the model output as far as the wind speeds go here on Saturday. And we're getting to some of these darker blues, even some greens over Lake Erie and the legends over here on the left. I think there'll be sustained winds on Saturday between 15 and about 20 to 25 with a gust over 30 here and there. And when you have temperatures no higher than 50 or 51, yeah, wind chill will be something we'll be talking about during the course of Saturday. So be prepared for that. Just a raw, nasty kind of a day on Saturday with a few peaks of sun, but probably not that many. And as we skip ahead to Sunday, second half of the weekend, I think this is a somewhat better day. And I mean somewhat, maybe a couple of degrees warmer, a little bit sunnier on Sunday. But I think the risk is there, maybe at the 20 to 30% chance that we see a passing shower here and there for the second half of the weekend. Waiting for the NAM to load up here. There we go. It's not showing much, but I think there could be a sprinkle or a shower here and there on Sunday. Well, how much rain are we talking about? This is something I often show in the winter when we're talking about snow accumulations, but we can use this tool for rain accumulations as well. This is called the SREF, Short Range Ensemble Forecast. And for those of you a little unfamiliar with this, real quick and dirty explanation. Basically, it's a computer model. They tweak 21 different times and run it 21 different times. And those initial tweaks result in different outcomes. And when the outcomes from all 21, there's a big spread, that means there's a lot of uncertainty in the forecast. That means that any little subtle tweak to the atmospheric conditions could result in all sorts of different things happening. If you see these lines, if the results of all 21 runs are more in line with each other, if they're closer together, that means our confidence in any one forecast solution is a little higher than average. Anyway, what we're looking at here is precipitation totals. Each line represents a different run. The range runs from about 0.2 of an inch, and we've got a little outlier up here at about an inch and a half worth of rain. So that's an outlier. We don't really believe that. The lines are closest packed together down here around 1/4 to 1/2 an inch, with the mean being this dark line here at about 0.55, 0.6 inches. So we can expect probably an average of 1/4 to 1/2 an inch worth of rain coming our way tomorrow into Saturday. Does someone get 3/4 of an inch? Yeah, that's a possibility. Can't even rule out an inch in some spots, but an average across the region is probably closer to 1/2 an inch. All right, so as we skip ahead to next week then, I think Monday's a somewhat uneventful day. Maybe there's a stray shower. Better chance to get wet Monday night into Tuesday. This is our next front. It's going to reinforce the cool for a day or two, middle of the week. And then I do have some hope that we warm back up towards the end of next week. And I say that because here's the overall upper air pattern going out into the longer range. Look at the deep, big trough in the east heading into Friday night and Saturday. That lifts out slowly. Slowly. We still got a trough around into early next week, even though it's not as strong. So we're below average early next week. But then notice the pattern changes here. The below average, what we call heights in the atmosphere, the thickness overall in the atmosphere. A thicker atmosphere is a warmer atmosphere. A thinner atmosphere is a cooler atmosphere. Well, the cooler than average or thinner than average atmosphere is out across Canada at this point, with a warming trend across the east, it looks like, for the second half of next week. Now, how warm does it get? It's still up in the air. Then as we head into the longer range, there's a lot of uncertainty as we head into the middle of October. Some models are pointing towards a warm period, some a cooler period. So there's not much we can hang our hat on there. All right, we'll wrap up this long video with foliage. New report out on foliagenetwork.com today puts us in the moderate category in most of northern Ohio. Your mileage may vary here. It just depends on what kind of trees you have in your yard. But low to moderate color now pretty common across our region. This includes western Pennsylvania. They're reaching peak color in northern Michigan and especially up in Wisconsin, where it's just spectacular out there. Leaf drop reports. Not many leaves dropping right now. Again, it depends on what kind of tree you have. But we're still in the very low category in terms of the leaf droppage. We're going to be doing a lot more raking, I think, next week into the following week, as we usually do in October. Thank you for watching Weather for Weather Geeks on this Thursday. I'll see you right back here on Friday afternoon.